I actually feel like Nick did a really great job writing both the drug scene and the sex scenes. But I would like to see him on drugs.
Yeah, Norville on drugs.
I think he'd be a paranoid.
That's exactly why I want to see him. When he was testing his newfound powers.
Maybe use something harder than a soccer ball?
I'm going to throw a plushie at you. Defend yourself. Kind of sounds like Locke and Jean.
One last job.
One last job.
One last job. This is the big...
the big one. But it's like the intro of the book, so you're like, man, I guess the rest is just him spending money. And sleeping around. Doing drugs. All right, this episode's officially not safe for kids. You don't have to engage with any of that. You can just do a bunch of Band-Aids if you're doing drugs, sex, and alcohol and rock and roll, which, because there is a pop star, I feel like that. Proper phrase is sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Coming to you from the Endless Library, where every book is read and every spoiler discussed. Join us as we dig into the lives of fictional people who cannot defend themselves. This is the SideQuest Book Club.
Welcome back, SideQuesters, to another day on Diorum. Hopefully that you've not been busy doing drugs and dancing the night away, but maybe you have. And if you have, Slava's judging you, and Spencer and I are not letting you know that we're judging you, but we also are judging you. So, welcome back. We got Spencer joining us today. Matt was unable to make it, so he'll be back on the next couple, but there was a conflict of schedules. So let's get into it. It's actually just going to be me talking to you guys today because Slava and Spencer are also sick.
Unfortunately.
But
Yep.
The show must go on.
If you guys can't tell by my voice, I've done too much of the drug that Roman did in whatever chapter that happened because it affects your memory too.
Chapters 1 through 10, actually before that, we start off with a little bit of a history of Diorum and a history of, the human race, really, from the beginning of 2083 or something like that, where they
I
discovered...
won't quote you on the years, but that sounds right.
Perfect. The discovery of Vitalerium, and then its subsequent effect on humanity and the research and the new technology that it provides for humanity to expand to the stars a little bit. So we kind of get the little history of that. Then we meet Roman, where he is, I think he's like 13 or so, and opening scene of him getting done with kind of like a soccer game, Diorum's version of soccer, and his parents have a run-in with the CP, and unfortunately his parents are killed. Roman becomes an orphan, ends up on the street for a minute, then ends up in a home where he is bullied, and then we find him a year later after that where he beats up his bully, and then becomes a freelancer eventually, and then we kind of pick up there or so in the early chapters. And then Roman, after he becomes a freelancer, he has some run-ins with with a local gang that he kind of works for. So Roman ends up getting contacted by Modus to take on a new job, and that is where we find ourselves entering here in chapter 11 as Roman starts to venture out on this new job. So we're about to find out what happens next. Jonathan, where do we find Roman as we pick up this story?
So as we pick up the story this time around, it kicks off with a bang, literally. You're not gonna respond to that, Slava?
Well, it's more figurative than literal, but
what if every time people listen to this episode, and I talk about this part, there's like an exhaust that goes off, or a riot takes place in front of the people, or something like that. All right, Slava's just looking at me with the old stink eye.
well, I wouldn't call it a stink. This is a confused eye. Well, an exhaust that goes off. That's the bang.
It's a bang, right? It's a bang.
Right. Yeah.
I don't actually want the listeners to get hurt.
There's a rave, so there must be a banger playing. Yeah, no, I get it. All the puns. All the puns, Jonathan. Very good.
Thank you. I'm just looking for a little support on this Thanksgiving weekend. You know, be thankful that you don't have a bang, whatever.
Oh, brother!
Anyway, so this one starts off with a bang. Roman goes to do this job for Modus, who hasn't reached out to him in a long time, because we find out that he actually left Modus's crew, the Wibbitani. So we don't know why Roman left, but he did, and Roman's gonna make a nice squeeze from this. Was it 2.2? Right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
He was-
2.2 credits.
Yeah. 2.2
Million.
million.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like Locke and Jean.
It's one
Yeah.
last job.
One last job.
One last job. This is the big. This is what's
the
gonna.
big one.
This
But
is
it's like
big
the
one.
intro of the book, so you're like, man, I guess the rest is just him spending money and sleeping around and doing drugs.
That's only one chapter.
Should
Or
be
two.
should be 10. Should be just a full, like, rehashing the Beatles. Just,
50 Shades of Roman.
well, anyway,
Honestly, though,
I feel like, let's actually talk about this for a second. We're getting ahead of ourselves, but I actually feel like Nick did a really great job writing both the drug scene and the sex scenes, where it's like, you know what's going on, but he's not pulling a romantasy, and I've never read this, so I'm literally making
Yeah.
assumptions, where he's like,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he put his pulsing pants next to me, and I could feel every bit of him.
Obviously, you've never read any of it. That's. I don't think the pants is what's pulsing, but
It's not. The pulsing is behind his pants. Do I need to draw you a diagram?
yeah, put it on the screen. Show the
Jonathan,
audience too.
Jonathan wants a word for word description.
is
Jonathan
how-
just wants more. Jonathan wants more smut. This is what it's come down to.
Look, I conceded once I learned what Fourth Wing was about, okay, Chief? I just thought it was about dragons.
Well, it's about dragons banging, so
I didn't know it was about dragons sliding their tails in orifices through people's spirits or whatever thing takes place here. Because I haven't read it.
Great story, compelling and rich.
But you're not that far off from what I've heard.
This is my drawing. Pulsing.
wow.
Pants. Keep us going, Spencer.
I don't know. So, anyways, so Nick does a great job. I think what
Pulsing pants. Those lines are to represent the pulsing.
The veins, the pulsing veins.
All right, this episode's officially not safe for kids. Starting now. Not before now. No, it should be before now.
Yeah,
And-
it's in the beginning. It starts off with a bang, which is not safe for anybody.
So Nick actually does a really good job of portraying Roman and what we know is going on, but without having to get all the steamy details about what's actually happening. So yeah, Roman is just kind of living his life, doing his thing when he gets this job and sets out to find this $2.2 million Vitalerium. I think it's a deposit or something like that. A big shard, and that's where we pick up.
Well, and he goes to the little junk shop, right, wherever this place is, out in the grind, and he's like, what's the phrase? Out of the fire and into the flame. And Sam, the guy sitting there at the counter, is just like, just stares at him.
Yeah, and Roman's like, "That's the phrase I was given. Let me in, dude." And Sam's like, "I don't know what you're talking about."
Yep.
That was a good one.
What's the actual line that he's supposed to say?
Isn't the original phrase something like "out of the frying pan and into the fire"?
It's something like that.
But Roman says flame instead of fire.
Yeah, he says out of the frying pan and into the flames.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be fire.
Yeah.
or something. Yeah, either way, but he says the wrong word.
Yeah.
And so the guy won't let him in. It's quite funny.
And he starts screaming it because he gets so frustrated. On page 163 in the Kindle version here, it says, there it is, practically yelling, "Out of the frying pan and into the flames," Roman shouts in an almost robotic cadence. "Sure, say it again, dummy. They'll make new things happen, or they'll make something new happen," the man retorts, emotionless. All right, look at this guy.
Sam just coming in with the old sarcasm here.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like I really like this scene just because honestly right now I feel like Roman is still kind of a jerk. And he's like, to me he's not super likable right now. And it just feels like this is perfect to suit like what he needs to sort of test his patience. And yeah, I don't know. It was just a great scene.
Yeah, and it kind of fits Roman, right? Because he has these adventures, and it seems some of the problems that he faces are kind of his own making, right? Like bad luck follows him in some sense. So him not getting this, the way he gets the Vitalerium into him is he has a hallucination of Jarek, and then he throws a grenade, and it explodes the shard, and the shard gets into him. So it seems, I don't know how else to say it, but part and parcel for what we've seen Roman character as right now. He just is this rough freelancer who kind of has a laissez-faire attitude, and he reacts to things maybe impulsively, and here we are.
What kind of a moron who freelances takes a grenade out when he's at a job site alone? That just, like, I know Roman's got anger issues, that's fine. He's brash, he's quick-tempered. Okay. But you pull a grenade out? He doesn't pull a grenade out anywhere else in the book. Is that his last grenade? Did he couldn't afford another grenade at the grenade store? That threw me. I was like, okay. Now I know we need the story to move forward, but this is my hang up with this, where it's like, he didn't throw a grenade when he saw Jarek in a nightmare before. And I'm sure he owned one, at least prior to this moment. Unless he went to the grenade store before the job, right? Like, he didn't fire off a couple shots at Jarek when he was having his nightmares before. So, like,
in his nightmare, he was naked, and then he woke up in a tent, right? I mean, your point stands. I'm just saying, I think he didn't throw the grenade the first time because it was the first time. So he's freaking out. And the second time, he's just pissed, and now he wants to destroy whatever he's seen. But your point still stands. He's impulsive and brash. So that's not to take away from your point. But he didn't have not the wherewithal, but he didn't have the opportunity. And I guess wherewithal would be the term here. He didn't have the opportunity or the wherewithal to attack Jarek, grenade or not grenade, his first time.
So he's doing this job for the Wibbitani. He's brash. He's rash. Maybe he has a rash on his tushy.
After his encounter, he most certainly does.
Absolutely. That would have been funny if Nick did him dirty, where he's like,
Right.
It exploded and he turned his back and he tried to hide, but he couldn't. It makes him less cool on the front end because I don't think that it would ricochet. But anyway, my point stands regarding the grenade. I want to see him, and again, yep, Jonathan wants more. That's what we should change the podcast to. Show me him being brash again. Like, let me see him take a swing at someone. Let me see him bust a kneecap of a CP officer. Like, the grenade was just like a 15 out of 10. It was like, oh, okay. So that part threw me off a little bit, and I was like, well,
I thought it was in character. I thought it was in character for him.
cool.
Yeah. That's not the only scene that I feel like things will go from or will be a 15 out of 10. Like, I feel like there are other times where all of a sudden we're just kind of in a moment where things are escalated and you're like, whoa, how did we get here?
Give me some examples. What else? And you can get ahead because we're doing 11 through 20 here, but what else stands out to you in similar fashion?
To me, one of the things that is a 15 out of 10 is we see him meet Monique first, but then the second time they meet, all of a sudden she just like is. It almost feels like she's already in love with him at this point, and it just feels a little bit hasty in my opinion. Of like all of a sudden she's like flirting with him, giving him drugs. Like it just, the escalation of the relationship felt really quick, really fast to me.
So I definitely misheard you when you first said meet Monique. I heard you say eat Monique, and I was like, wow, Spencer, that is... I didn't read that, but...
That's certainly an escalation. No, that is...
Hey, nice to meet you.
Really? Is that what you... Is that how you envision it?
That's not how that works, Jonathan.
I said I misheard him. I admit fault, Slava.
Again, Jonathan wants more.
Do you want to... Sorry, carry on. I'm not sure if you're saying sorry to God or the audience or the editor.
Camera's right there, the audience. I'm saying sorry to the audience.
Okay.
Sorry. For you, on behalf of the SideQuest Podcast Book Club, I apologize. We'll have HR talk to Jonathan later.
Slava, you know how we said we weren't going to read Romantasy?
We're writing our own.
We're making our own.
It's going to be fanfic Romantasy. So we're going to take whatever book we're reading and put a Romantasy scene in the book at a 15 out of 10. So we can draw in a larger female audience.
I don't think that's going to work. But
I don't think that's how it works.
No.
Well,
anyway, so that's one of my examples of we go from 15 out of 10 where all of a sudden they are like basically in love with each other. It kind of feels like at this point, and there wasn't much. I feel like there wasn't much before that to kind of really get us into that relationship. All of a sudden, they're just kind of a thing.
Okay. All right. What about the fact that he saved her? So after quick catch up for the audience, if you didn't read the book, he throws a grenade, gets hit with all the Vitalerium shards, which we will talk about it shortly, tries to get back to Norville because his body's in excruciating pain, hits a CP checkpoint, sees a woman, helps her get through the checkpoint because she has a double ID, which you're not supposed to have. And that happens to be Monique, who we meet later that Spencer's talking about with the drug-induced ecstasy. But he's going back to Norville, so he goes back to Norville, and Norville's like, what did you do? What's wrong? Norville starts testing him by throwing a soccer ball at him because he... Actually, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. He fights a Vorkril on his way first, kills it with his newfound powers of the Vitalerium crystals being lodged inside himself. Then he gets over to Norville. On the way there, he meets Monique, who he doesn't know. She's just some lady in clad leather and a helmet getting pulled over or getting stopped at the CP guard station. And he helps her get through. They both escape. He goes back to see Norville. Then Norville starts testing his powers by throwing a soccer ball at him, which I'm just going to say it. Norville's not a coach. He's not. You don't want him to be your coach. He's not the guy for that.
Well, he's just a nerdy lab tech is what he is. So
right.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not very good on the social side of things.
No, his science experiments should not involve people, is really what it boils down to. Okay, Roman, get angry. Really, really do it this time. Roman just standing there like... Yeah, Norville. Sounds good. You f***ing dweeb. Anyway, you were talking about Monique and the escalation. So you don't think when he met her... So he met her, he saved her, moment interaction 1. They see each other at Modus's thing in this set of chapters, moment 2. She makes the connection that he is the guy that Modus keeps talking about, that she's heard a lot about. That's not enough of an escalation for you? I'm not saying it should be. I'm just curious.
Yeah, no, not really. I mean, sure, like their interaction when he saved her really wasn't that long, as far as like them actually conversing with one another. There wasn't a whole lot of dialogue there, and then yeah, when they go to meet, let's see, do they meet Modus first before they start getting together?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Them going out on the trip on the town for a week happens directly after that meeting with Modus because
Okay.
they're at the club that Modus runs.
That's right. So yeah, to me, there just wasn't much interaction between the two to really kind of develop this love story. If that's what Nick's going. Again, I'm only at chapter 20, so maybe this is how they, fall in love. Like maybe there's just burning passion there, before, and that kind of sets up the love story. But the way that he's kind of writing how Monique feels about him and how he kind of feels about her, I don't know, just kind of felt like it moved a little too quick in my opinion. But maybe that's just
You've never trounced through a town and found love in a night of heated passion while you're doing drugs?
Yeah, no, I can't say that I have.
Slava, I'm gonna need you to fly in because we're gonna have a night on the town. Good? We good there? All right. Oh, I was supposed to give some to Spencer. That's the last. That's the last of it. It's gonna be a great day for me though. Stay hydrated out there, folks. If you're using extracurriculars, that's what I like to call them. Extracurriculars. It's not a required class.
You
It's a choice.
have the most interesting double entendres. Self-aggrandizing.
Extracurricular. It works though.
Sure.
Does it not work?
I mean, we all know what you're talking about, yes.
What am I talking about, Slava? Please spell it out for the audience.
Drugs.
Oh.
Drugs.
Oh my. Not in this
What?
book.
I haven't seen one single reference to drugs in this book. I don't know what you're talking about, Slava.
Or sex. Or sorry.
Or anything. Yeah, weird.
Is that what you think sex looks like, Jonathan? is this? Where do babies come from, Jonathan?
Well, Mama always told me they come from the stalk. When a mommy and daddy love each other, the bird flies over and goes, boop.
Yeah, that's exactly how it happens. Pretty sure.
You want to draw me a diagram? Nope. Okay.
Nope. Just going to leave that be.
So let's rewind a minute. Norville, let's go back to Norville. Look, Roman going back to Norville. Norville is doing tests on Roman. Do you think that there were additional things he should have tried when he was testing his newfound powers?
Maybe use something harder than a soccer ball?
I'm going to throw a plushie at you. Defend yourself. Oh, okay. Thanks, Norville.
Yeah.
Should have had Sam swing at him or come at him with a knife or something. Like, really wanted to see Sam again. Don't feel like I got enough time with the stoic pawn shop owner.
The curmudgeon-y owner? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping maybe he'll be a guy we go see again out in the grind.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting, though, that that Norville kind of figured out how to get under Roman's skin. It was like basically started taunting him, and that's kind of what got Roman to be able to get his heart rate going, to be able to produce the Vitalerium power effect. Whatever you want to call that.
Yeah. The powers.
Yeah, the powers. But to me, I enjoyed the part where Norville, he just really got under Roman's skin and purposely kept like egging him on, and oh man, words are escaping me.
Extracurriculars? No, that's not what you want to say.
That's not what Norville was doing.
But I would like to see him on drugs.
Yeah, Norville on drugs. Would be
I
all-
think he'd be a paranoid.
That's exactly why I want to
Yeah.
see him.
Yeah.
I want to see Norville doing some sort of Vitalerium style drug, and then like I just want to see how that
Freaking out.
unfolds.
Just-
Yes, absolutely. I want to see him on a really bad trip.
That would
Look,
be
I didn't write it. Nick did. Don't look at me that way. I'm just suggesting it.
Book 2. Well, it'd be in book 2.
Hopefully,
Norville's Bender.
chapter 1. Bending with Norville. Could mean a lot of things. Could start in the lab. Could end in the bedroom. Who knows?
Well, he has a
Adding
bed
a-
in his lab, so
It's a 2 for 1 is what you're telling me.
There's your romantasy, Jonathan.
From lab tech to
to OnlyFans model.
there, yeah, to foot. I don't know. Just help me out here.
This episode, guys, it's not even 10 minutes in.
We're devolving
we are.
quickly. But yeah, so Norville gets under Roman's skin, and that's what gets Roman agitated, worked up enough to
The adrenaline pumping.
to produce the power. So Norville actually does kind of know what he's doing in that sense of things.
True scientist that he is.
Yep.
So then Roman has to convince Norville to leave his science lab to go see Modus because he knows Modus, and if he doesn't go see Modus, Modus will kill him, basically is the implication here, because he screwed a job up. Well, Norville didn't screw the job up, Roman did, but he's
Yeah.
Kind of
he's a
blew up in
collateral.
his face.
He's a real banger. It's called the Callback, Slava. So he somehow convinces Norville to do that because Norville has a gadget and a gizmo to help them get past the security detail, which I thought was kind of fun. I don't know how a bracelet, because they wear like a bracelet, and it like changes their, for lack of a word, their aura, their sound, not sound signature. What is it? Their
Well, those-
frequency.
Their
signature?
signature, like because the
Yeah.
cameras or whatever pick up on whatever it is, the signature or an aura, whatever you want to call it, and identifies the citizen. But this bracelet emits something which confuses the system. So,
Yeah, it changes their appearance, doesn't it?
yeah, it changes their appearance too.
But they appear themselves to everybody else, but on the camera they appear different. They look different somehow.
Right.
So interesting bit of tech there.
It's true. Did you guys like the tech, or is it just kind of like blend into the background of the story for you?
To me, it kind of blends into the background
Yeah.
a little bit. He doesn't explain much of it. You just kind of assume that it's all a result of the Vitalerium somehow, and it's just all. You just have to assume that it works. There's some sort of nerdy explanation really behind the scenes, but I don't think that's the focus of what he's really trying to get across. He just wants you to know, like, we're in this sci-fi world. We're in this world of cool tech, powered because of Vitalerium. But what he really wants to focus on is the story. So to me,
Right.
it just kind of blends in the background.
Yeah, same. And it's 2761 or whatever, right? It's way into the future. So you assume there's going to be some fancy tech, fancy gizmos. And for me, it's enough. Although it blends into the background, it's enough. I don't need 2 pages explaining how Norville created this thing and how it works with the system and how it jams the system and what happens and blah, blah, blah. It's, 300 years in the future. I would hope to have some kind of tech that scrambles security cameras. They have tech like that now. So
That's true.
I think it would be cool. Like, I like kind of more of the nerdy stuff, the science aspect of things. I think it'd be cool to see how how all this stuff was built. But then we'd have the book would probably be twice the size if we had all of those descriptions
True.
of how things worked. But as more of kind of like on the nerdy side, I think it would be kind of cool to see how some of that stuff works.
I will say that I did get quite a bit from Nick in this book or this world, because on his site, if you haven't checked it out, there's a map, there's a full rundown of the characters, and each one gets their own page. Each what's the name of these groups? Each entity, each like group entity has their own page and description and like what they want. So he did a lot of work. That's actually one of the reasons that I picked this book when he reached out and said, hey, we should read this to the team here, was because he put in quite a bit of world building, right? So definitely, if you haven't checked that out, go check out, I think it's Vitaleriumseries.com. We'll have it on the screen here as well.
And we'll link it in the show notes.
Yeah, Vitaleriumseries.com/Codex if you want to go like directly to it. But it is called the Codex. You got the grind here. You got Argos, Luxenia, the Dead Zone. You get to see like, oh, okay, this is all the different places.
Yeah.
So it's super cool. So earlier this week, I was thinking about story, and I was thinking about how do we know a story is good? We've kind of talked about this on and off through the podcast and its entirety of when Slava and I started. But good stories reveal things to us through actions, through the POV of the main character oftentimes. And so, like, do we feel like we understand Roman's worldview and his goals up until this point? That's the first question that I want to ping both of you with. Bing, bing. I won't throw a plushie at you, promise. Too dangerous.
I think so, because we see his backstory, his origin story, if you will, and then we see him as a freelancer. We see him as a guy who cares for the people who are impoverished or vulnerable. His saving the little girl from the street urchins. Yeah. And then we see him saving Monique. And then later in the book, which I won't spoil it for Spencer, what drives him to do the things he does. That's the cleanest way I can say it. To do the things he does.
The white picket fence with Monique. The two kids.
Yeah. Even him falling in love with Monique and finding some solace in her arms, all that good stuff, and finding her appealing to him as a person more than just the sexual aspect of it. And then what he does 2 or 3 times, we see him later in chapters 20 on, or 21 on, 22 on, we see him make decisions that show him to be a more complex character than just a rugged freelancer, hell-bent on making money and banging and just living life to the fullest. So there's more to him than just that. And we see that played out. So, for me, yes.
Are you enjoying today's side quest? Make sure that you're subscribed so you never miss an episode. We're available on YouTube and all major platforms so that you can listen to us anywhere. Now, back to the show.
Yeah, I think from my perspective, only being on chapter 20, we do see that a little bit. Obviously, him saving the little girl, saving Monique. At this point, we have glimpses of kind of who he is, underneath the rough exterior. But for me, I guess I still don't see like what his overall goals are. Like, what is he trying to accomplish? Why he's doing what he's doing? We get the sense of kind of who he is underneath, but he's been, because of his past and what happened, obviously he doesn't like the government, and for other obvious reasons, we don't like the government.
Who likes the government? Don't answer that. It's a trick question.
Trick question, guys. But as far as like his overall, like what Roman's trying to accomplish, I guess I don't really quite know yet.
I don't think that we really get, outside of like, hey, I'm a freelancer, I want to make a lot of money, which is every freelancer's goal, right, freelancers? The room was
a freelancer.
You're not a freelancer. You never freelanced in your life.
No, I'm talking about you.
You're a company man.
No, I'm talking about you.
I meant Slava, but yes. Slava's a company man.
I freelanced once or twice on eBay.
That's not freelancing, but okay. Though that word doesn't mean what you think it means. Does it mean different in Russian?
No.
Freelanco.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how you say that in Russian.
There it is.
I think every episode, Slava, you should use one Russian word for us.
Нет.
He both did the thing and not the thing at the same time. I love it.
Thanks, Spencer. I appreciate you telling me what he did.
Yes, I know, but it was so funny. It was perfect.
I couldn't put it together. Slava, you need a little bump?
Yeah. Where's Nails
Yeah.
when you need him?
He's busy. He's preoccupied. We'll call it that. All right, fair enough. I think Roman is learning what he wants, actually, because I feel like,
Yeah.
It's a good way to put it.
Yep.
Midway through the book, this is kind of like hitting midway through the book. There are things that take place. He now has this superpower he has to deal with, which is kind of him, regardless of what he chooses, he's now thrust into the story in a way that is very different. And
Yeah.
he's also the crux of a lot of different things going on in Dioram, which he doesn't fully know yet, which we don't fully know yet. And that's going to play a big role. But he also can't just live a normal life now because he shrapneled himself with Vitalerium.
So, yeah, I want to add a caveat to what I said. So, does he really know what he wants? I think as a freelancer and as Roman, the guy that we've met, having his origin story, there are things that he wants. There probably are to make money, to survive, all that good stuff. Underneath all of that, he has a desire for the world and for his surroundings, for the grind. I think he can't articulate it. He might not even be able to realize it at this moment in his life, but he does have a desire. And then when he realizes that desire, it turns into a goal. That's a better way of saying it. I don't think I articulated exactly what I wanted to in my first answer, but with that caveat, I think my answer is more full. That's where I stand.
Well, I think he's just getting by right now, right? He drinks a lot.
Yeah.
He's quick-tempered.
Yeah.
Like we talked about earlier. His drinking a lot, though, comes from trauma. It's his losing his parents. It's losing his best friend. It's the terrible things he's had to do to survive.
Yeah.
Right?
And he had to watch them all die.
Yeah, he did. And at least one of them is his fault. So we see that he is using it as a medication, and oftentimes people do that when they don't have, I guess I'll call it, the maturity to, and this isn't why don't you just be more mature? It's no, emotional maturity is actually very difficult. We've talked about it a dozen times on this show. Hey, I acted this way, then I had an epiphany or a revelation, however you want to call it, and I had to process oh, maybe acting that way makes me a really shitty person. Maybe I should consider changing that. And then you confront yourself and you go, do I want to change it or do I not? How difficult is the thing that I'm trying to get over? Can I work through it? Things that are really difficult take longer to work through oftentimes. But you don't have to engage with any of that. You can just do a bunch of Band-Aids if you're doing drugs, sex, and alcohol and rock and roll, which, because there is a pop star, I feel like that is relevant here. But the proper phrase is sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Not all at the same time, though, because that makes you a heathen. But one at a time is okay.
Thanks for that clarification. I wasn't
At
sure
least
on
two at a
that one.
time. At least two at a time.
But those are our thoughts. What do you guys think that Roman his wants and needs are up to this point? Let's say chapter 15, right? 15 feels like a good, it's halfway through the book, 15, 16. So as the audience, what are your thoughts? What does Roman want? Is he just trying to forget his past, like I said? Is he, moving forward, trying to learn his superpowers, like Spencer said, or whatever Slava said, for those who are paying attention? Because sometimes I don't listen to him, which makes the episodes harder, honestly, in case you didn't know. That was really well timed. His camera overheated. So, Roman and Norville have made it past all the security checkpoints and didn't get caught. And now they're at the club, which, do we ever learn the name of the club?
That's a good question. I don't recall hearing a name.
The Wibbitani Club. That's what we're gonna call it then.
Love it.
So Modus is Roman's old boss when he was in the Wibbitani, and he shows up with Norville, and they have some bad news to deliver, which they're not looking forward to sharing. So they have a little chit chat. Modus sorts out whatever business he's dealing with beforehand. Roman sees some old guys that he knows, that he used to be the commanding officer for, if you will. And now they're all like leaders in the Wibbitani. So, but also when Roman walks in, who does he see, Spencer?
I believe he sees Monique, correct?
That is correct. Ding, 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 ding.
And he's shocked to see her there.
Shocked.
Shocked. Yeah, something like that. I'm pretty sure that's the face he made.
He did the old cartoon coyote.
the heart thumbing out there. Boom, 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 boom.
Slava, don't look at me like you haven't watched a cartoon in your life. It's where the heart comes out of his chest and goes boo 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 boo.
The eyes bulge out.
Yes, exactly. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Right.
That's definitely the face Roman made.
Obviously.
On the inside. Because on the outside, he looked like this.
Yeah, he probably always looks like that.
But pretend that he has a blue crystal right here. Here.
The other side.
Is it the other side?
I don't know.
You think Roman has a beard? I don't think he has a beard.
No, I don't think so.
We're just going to awkwardly watch you try to get that off.
Yeah.
I did it! I did it! Clap for me. Well, if any of you are looking to be guests on this show, don't expect much moral support when you are, because both of these guys
You won't get it.
are jackwagons.
Listen, 10 years in the grind have hardened
Oh,
us.
hush. You don't have...
We don't have what?
You don't have Vitalerium in your face. Back to it. So they meet. He sees Monique, and he's surprised because she's the mysterious love interest, right? That he got the opportunity to save the damsel in distress. Although I don't know I guess she was in distress. The damsel.
I wouldn't call her a damsel though.
No.
What do you think the word damsel means, Slava?
A quiet, meek.
Quiet, weak. What'd you say? Quiet, meek.
Meek.
All right. I am hearing things apparently. So be it.
So Roman walks into the club. He...
Bottle full of bub.
Yep.
His mom got what he needs.
You know what, Jonathan? I was trying to help you out. And you just derailed it again.
He's not into making love.
I don't know what to do.
50 cred.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Ah, well played. Well played.
Roman is surprised to see Monique there. He ends up sitting down with Modus, and we start to see them discuss the why the Vitalerium isn't fully recovered.
Because it's in Roman's ass.
Because it's in Roman's ass.
But not in the way you think. It's
But maybe a
lodged
little.
into a cheek, not... Never mind. This is a really terrible episode.
You want to continue that thought, Jonathan?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. So Modus dismisses everybody else after having a fight publicly with his daughter. And he's like, "You know Roman?" And she's like, "I know him pretty well.
We go back a long way."
I could know him better."
Nick, I apologize profusely.
Which will happen in the next chapter. So,
No other publisher will ever reach out to us after what we're doing to this freaking book.
No, we had Callie on. We absolutely raved about that.
Yes, but okay. Please continue. No, we're good. We're definitely doing justice to this book. We're
having a good
We're
time.
amazed.
That's what this book is the new book.
Dude,
Is that?
what's going on?
I'm leading the show right now for some reason alone.
Maybe
and
we
so-
should just postpone this.
No, we're
man.
driving. We're already halfway through.
Matt, we really need
We're
to
driving.
think of new co-hosts for our show. Ooh, did that struck a nerve?
Yeah, here.
Matt, the guy who
Sorry,
didn't
guys.
read and didn't. I mean, schedule. So he has a schedule problem. Yeah.
So Monique leaves angrily, right? And
As damsels do, right?
yes, Slava, as damsels do. Then the moment of truth, and I would be, maybe if I was Roman, not shaking in my boots, but definitely like not, I'd not be happy about the moment I'm about to have with my ex-boss, right? Where I was going to get paid 2.2 million creds, which means that he was probably making 5 million creds, if we're being honest. Which means that you lost him 2.5 million in Vitalerium. So pulling out a dinky little canister and going, ksh, ksh. Here you go, boss. It's about the size of a dime. Enjoy.
The rest of it's inside me.
And then going clink, 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 clink. I happen to have worn it permanently moving forward. So
So there's that.
Sorry about that.
Whoops.
Yeah, I would not want to be the person saying that.
No.
Yeah, that would be tough.
And I would not throw it to Norville to explain better, because that would go even more poorly.
We see, yeah, every time Norville tries, Roman's just like, you know what? You just need to stop. Let me take it from here.
Well, so what this means, boss man, is these are the statistics, and here's a diagram of what it means in his body, and you're gonna get shot in the foot before it's all said and done, because, reasons. But Modus is pissed at the end of 17. He is telling Roman he's not allowed to leave the city because he owes him a lot. And then Roman throws Norville at Modus like a treat. Like, well, you can take him in indentured slavehood.
I got this guy.
And Norville's like, what are you doing?
Wait, hold on. This wasn't part of the deal.
Sorry, you just got to own it. He says something like that, like, you couldn't fulfill it, so you just got to own it. See ya.
It's like, make Modus some fancy toys. You'll get out of it soon enough.
Right. He's reasonable, sort of.
As long as you do what he says.
True. And don't screw up the job like
Exactly.
Roman did.
Yep.
Yeah. The next chapter, though, is what we've been hinting at all episode, which is the Night of Ecstasy.
Week of Ecstasy.
Week of Ecstasy.
Yeah, just keep doing that.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that not what
Pantomime ecstasy for us, Jonathan.
Because you've obviously done it before.
Right,
Can
the
you
ecstasy. Jonathan has done the ecstasy.
Is it apparent?
The drug, not the other thing.
Is it apparent in my movements, in my gyrations?
Is that what you call those?
So chapter 18, I think it's 18. Roman goes downstairs. He's about to have a drink. Monique walks up.
Phrasing.
Huh? I don't. Spencer, do you get it?
He gets it.
Yeah, I think so. It's okay. We'll let you know when you grow up.
I really don't. Just like, just big yellow question marks here for Jonathan. I don't understand the reference. So, audience, if you understand whatever Slava just said, can you let me know and educate me? Because clearly I'm an idiot. So, that'd be great. Thanks. Help me get a little more. Can you help me level up my street smarts? Just one more point. That'd be lovely. Anyway, Roman has a drink. And then You should always.
We killed Slava.
You should always have your friends when they're sick. You should hang out with them and just make them laugh to help them get healthier quicker.
Yeah.
Because Slava's not even going to need any Sudafed after this. He's going to just have coughed it all out with his laughing fit. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. So anyway, Roman goes downstairs for a drink. Monique comes up to him with a few of her friends and goes, "Hey, let's go out on the town." And he's like, "Yeah, whatever. I just need to get drunk." So they do. Fast forward, we see Roman waking up, and, well, let me pause for a second, because this chapter is actually pretty cool, which I want to talk about, where he has these, like, vignettes of time and moments where it's like they're at the club, and then they're somewhere else, and then he's seeing this thing, and then they're somewhere else. And it feels like a trip. I've never been on a drug trip, as we're all aware by my motions. I've never participated in the extracurriculars, but I have seen it in this book, and so I know that it's a drug trip. That's my point of connection here.
Yes.
I too have done all of the drugs, so I definitely understand what a drug trip is.
Yep.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was a cool writing style where, you know, you get to see bits and pieces of the trip, apparently, of what he was on, and then like how it kind of comes back to him in flashes. Yeah, I feel like that's a. It almost feels like
I liked it.
Yeah, it almost feels like a TV show kind of style,
Yes.
where like if you,
Yeah.
you know, you got the guy or the character wakes up, and all of a sudden you see him recall the memories either by someone telling him or just kind of the memories kind of just come back to him. But yeah, it's kind of an interesting writing style, because like if it's almost as if you were the main character and you're trying to recall the bits, like you're only seeing from his point of view, so you have to get it from. You have to get the story from him in a sense. So, yeah, I liked it. It was a nice way to kind of break things up a little bit.
Have you ever seen something like this in another person's writing, where it doesn't necessarily have to be a drug trip, but I guess it's two questions. Have you ever seen a drug trip or drug incident sequence? That's the word. In another book, or have you ever seen, or I guess it's or have you ever seen unique writing styles that you're like, oh, this is unique, and it's different from the normal, here's a chapter, next chapter, right? Like some sort of unique writing thing. And if so, what were those things? 3 questions.
So, drug, not that I can recall, but memory coming back to you, Project Hail Mary, where the main character, Ryland, Grace, his last name is Grace, he wakes up on a ship, and then we get, you know, him trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Then the next chapter or half a chapter, it's a memory of him on Earth. And then we go back to him trying to figure out where the hell he is, and then going through the motions of being on the ship. So the only thing that comes close, as, you know, of memories coming back. Other than that, I can't think of anything on the spot that's done like this. And this is done so fast and in such a short amount of time, but so much is put there to make it, you know, enticing, captivating, the events that are happening. You're like, oh, holy crap, this guy is definitely on a bender. And it happens to be a bender. It could be written for any other sort of situation, I suppose, but it was done well for me. But I can't think of anything besides Project Hail Mary on the memory part.
Did anybody do drugs in it? I thought that they did. No?
No. I think I haven't
Just
read.
King, huh?
Just King did the drugs when he was writing. Yes, and mostly during Tommyknockers. Like, that's at least the rumors, and online rumors are what they are. But what I read online is when he wrote Tommyknockers, he was coked out of his mind. For what it's worth to this conversation.
Thanks for that. No, Jonathan, to your question, Project Hail Mary for me as well, but I also don't recall anything else. One thing I am reminded of is the Lies of Locke Lamora, where we kind of see bits and pieces of Locke's past, but that's not obviously a memory thing. That's just sort of kind of relating past instances to Locke's current instance, like how the storyline connects there from his past to his present. But as far as memory stuff goes, I personally can't say that I've read anything like that. I feel like there's got to be other stuff out there though.
Doesn't the memory stuff I've seen before? I think those are both good instances. I also feel like in not Choke. What's the other Palanuk book that we read?
Survivor.
Survivor. Yeah, doesn't he do?
Kill yourself.
Yeah, doesn't he do memory recall in that, or is it just flashbacks?
I think it's just flashbacks.
Oh, okay. Definitely, Fight Club has memory recall stuff as well.
Yep.
Does what's the Survivor name character? Temperance? Tension? Tom? It's a weird name. Drop it in the comments. If you remember who the main character Survivor is. Doesn't he do drugs though?
Does he? He's like part of a cult that is all like prim and pristine.
Oh, right. They don't even do caffeine. It's the opposite. No drug trips for the other books that we've read, I guess, then. I was really scraping here.
So Jonathan, then what's your... As you said, you kind of liked this style where you get these little vignettes.
Mm-hmm.
But, what about that do you like?
I like when authors try new things. And this one succeeded because if you've ever been drunk before, then you know that there's a wishy-washiness to your memory. There's a wishy-washiness to the moments where you're like, the lights are a little streaky and you can't really remember all the things, and it has that episodic vignette memory feel like this.
Ooh.
Thank you, Spencer.
Something like that.
Yeah.
No.
That's my impression since I've never been drunk.
Mm-hmm.
I only heard about it in Dare videos. I don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, did you know that Dare? There was an episode there's a thing that came out that the reason Dare got so big so quickly is because police got a stipend for everyone that they recruited. It was basically an MLM.
Yep.
Interesting.
I heard that.
Yeah. So.
Fascinating.
Yeah, that's why it got so big, and why they were like, don't do drugs in front of us. They didn't say the last part. But no, I love when authors try and do something new. It's fun. Survivor did something like this too, where the book page numbers start backwards. And so it starts at 316 or whatever, and then as the book ends, it ends on page 1. So like unique things that you can do with the medium of a book is, I always love stuff like that.
Yeah. And the book starts at, let's say, 316 in the end of the book and works backwards towards the end of the book, if that makes sense. So it's almost like Momento in book form.
Mm-hmm.
Benjamin Button, it kind of reminds me of too. Right?
Yeah.
Yep. Stuff like that. So anytime authors do something unique like that, I love it, because there's not a lot of people trying something new and getting published. So that's like a 2-for-1 there. So shout out to Nick for trying something unique, doing it, and succeeding, I'd say, in this instance. So that's the end. That's what, chapter 18-ish, right? So we got like 2 more chapters to hit before we wind down here. 19. What happens in 19?
Yeah. So 19 it's just politics.
Oh yeah, the coup.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
Well, it's not really a coup. It's them realizing Zarus is insane and going, maybe we should take this guy out. I mean, it's a coup if you're Zarus. It's not a coup if you're...
That was chapter 14 where this governor.
Yeah, that's right. It was chapter 14.
This chapter is Zarus is, I don't know if they're like in a room with a bunch of people.
The hybrid catching another 50 glowworms, they call them.
Yep. And Zarus also confronts this guy Trike about doing drugs.
Oh yeah, Trike does some sort of heroin style thing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and then he's super scared of Zarus like finding out about it, and then Zarus is like, "Well, go do it." He's like, "Go do the drugs or whatever it is."
Yeah, just calm the down, do the drugs, and we can talk again.
Yeah. And he wasn't sure if it was a trap or not. Yeah, I think that's kind of the essence. Yeah, they need to find these what hybrids are called.
Yep.
So in chapter 19, we find ourselves, I think we're kind of in a room with Zarus and a few people. And Jonathan, you might need to help me out a little bit here, but they're talking about they need 50 more glowworms or hybrids, right, to conduct their experiment. So yeah, what do you remember what they need these people for? What's going on here?
We don't know yet. We just know that Zarus is doing experiments on people in some capacity.
On hybrids specifically.
Yes. Yep. But I think it's fair to say that it probably has something to do with what happened to Roman, right? Like a good storyteller will tie things together. And so Norville even mentions when he's discussing with Roman originally that the Vitalerium is working with his genetic structure because he was born on Diorum, and so it happens in the gestation period, something like that. That it's like it's because of the women who are born here rather than like a genetic anomaly, if you will. It's an evolutionary type thing is the implication.
Right.
So I believe that Zarus is grabbing hybrids to try to create an army to take over the IGB because he's sick of it, because we do see, you mentioned this just before we started recording, Spencer, about the news center being a state-run propaganda machine, I think is what you said. Very much like 1984, where all the information coming out is not objective, it's not whatever. We even see the small riots happening, and then in the background it's like, cool, go deal with them, most aggressive commander that I have or whatever. And he deals with them, right? So collecting people as human test subjects, they continue to go missing, which is about to lead us into the next big job that Romans have been going to do, right? So chapter 19 is the larger story at hand. A little bit of snippets behind the curtain there, which I also think that there's just enough layering where we get like Roman, bigger picture of something that's going on, whether it's Zarus or whoever, and then Roman, and we get this like not ping pong effect, but like it's a good cadence, right? Of a lot of Roman main character POV. Hey, this is what's going on in the background. And we get just enough of that when Roman encounters things that are intersecting with that, we can go, oh yeah, I've been seeing the buildup, right? So, so who likes Zarus? Slava? Spencer?
Well, if Roman's not likable, then we gotta find somebody else to like, so it might as well be Zarus, right?
Okay. Zarus is your pick, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he's working against an overlord character, right?
As far as we can tell, yeah.
That's kind of what it appears.
Yep. I mean, I like him as a bad guy.
Yeah.
What does he want?
Zarus wants full control of the galaxy, basically, or all of the planets currently that humans occupy.
Yeah, he wants stability.
I think he just wants control of the mining operation because it gives him control over the whole universe. He then gets to make all the weapons. He gets to create this, group of super soldiers, is my assumption, right? Like Roman, and, lead them to his big plan of whatever he's doing. So,
yeah, exactly.
Pretty much on the money.
Yep.
I'm on the creds.
You're on the creds.
Nice.
Yeah, one thing I just kind of wanted to mention is what kind of. I'm curious what you guys think of what kind of government this is. Obviously, it's a sort of
It's a democracy.
It's a totalitarian sort of, or sounds like, well, maybe currently, but it sounds like someone's, trying to take over and make it into something different. But yeah, what's your guys' like opinion or view of what kind of government Zarus or even this other overseer or Grand Regent, I think they call him.
Yeah, that sounds right.
It seems like something akin to parliamentary, because you have governors, and then you have like the head guy, and then, the head guy, a couple of head guys that have like
they're state heads, basically.
Like a consortium of leaders or whatever.
It's like Congress.
Yeah, but more parliamentary than what we as Americans would think of as Congress.
What's the difference? I wouldn't pass the social studies test if you asked me right now. So what's the difference?
Well, so parliamentary system is where you have different parties. There's more than two, and one usually has more power, right? They have the majority of the votes. So then they, along with all the other parliamentary representatives, set the laws, set the cadence for the government.
Okay.
Whereas in a congressional Republican, republic, not in the party system, you have state representatives that go, and also there's a balance of power, and then each one represents a state, and then they enact the laws.
So you really think it's okay? All right. You really think it's more parliamentary rather than congressional? Because it feels like to me that this group of people that I can't even remember the guy's name at the moment, who's like, hey, Zarus has been up to stuff. Here's the proof I have so far. Whatever his name is, right? That guy?
Yeah.
That feels like they are state heads rather than heads of entities that would be more, or groups.
Yeah, it seems like each one of those, I think they're called governors in the book, where they each have like a region or a section of the city on Diorum that they each kind of oversee, and then
rather
they
than
have
a party that they're representing.
Yeah. Well, to me, when I think of what you just said, congressional, I'm thinking of it in the framework of what we have in America, right? Where there's three branches of government, and they're all delineated. They have powers and checks and balances. Here, everything's kind of mixed together, and I'm not doing the parliamentary system any real justice, because it's more complex than what I'm explaining it as. But it seems more parliamentary to me because there is just a bunch of them together, and yes, they have sections of the city or the planet that they're in charge of, but they're all in one room working together or trying to. There's concessions and quid pro quo kind of stuff, which is different than what we have in America. And maybe the lines are blurry there, but it's different to me.
That's why I was like, hey, can you explain this to me? Because I don't see it, right? Do you guys, as the audience, see more of a parliamentary system here or more of a congressional U.S. version? Or if you're part of other countries in the world, is it more like your system? And if it is, like, can you explain your system to me? Because I don't understand it. Leave us a note in the comments because I'm curious. Because to me, it felt more like state representatives, like Spencer said, where they're part of different entities, they're part of different sections, geographic sections, that they're like, hey, even on the map, I think it says that. Yeah, Luxenia,
Letus, Dorak,
yeah,
Argos, Talos,
Etonia. Yeah, these look like geographic spaces to me. I'm not saying that you're wrong, because if you understood it as parliamentary, then that's interesting. I mean, I kind of want to ask Nick when he comes on.
Yeah, well, if I just did this is Google AI, so take it,
judge it, how you will.
grain, a largest grain of salt possible. And and it's pulling from the AI is pulling from the Vitalerium series.com website, but according to Google AI, it's an oligarch structure. The government is an oligarchy with unelected representative from 7 city-states making legislation. These representatives reside in upper levels of the central Sanctum Tower. So, that's closer to parliamentary than congressional, but because it's oligarchical, it means that all the rich folks who control businesses and different entities and what's the word I'm looking for? Goodness, like utilities, everything that's controlled by these rich folks, they're the ones in charge. But the system seems to me, again, people who are smarter than us, please comment below. Is this closer to parliamentary or what? But Gemini says this, but I'm okay to be wrong.
That makes one of us. I'm not okay to be wrong.
You're not okay.
You look like you're about to say something, Spencer.
I'm also okay to be wrong once in a while. I guess it's fine. So you're right, Jonathan. That only makes one of us.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Just want to let you be in your own boat there.
Yes, perfect. Oh, man. All right, well, let's wind this guy down. Chapter 20. Any final thoughts on Chapter 20?
Chapter 20.
Comes after 19.
Oh, that 20. Okay.
I know. It can be confusing sometimes.
Well, the thing that stood out to me in Chapter 20 is he wakes up with Monique, and Modus calls them, and he's like trying to hide the fact that he's with Monique. And Monique calls out to, "Hey, Dad, yeah, we'll be there in 30 minutes." And he's like, "What?" So,
no, he's not confused though. He's like, he knew.
The Modus is not confused. Roman, I think, was a little confused that Modus figured it out. Yeah.
Well, because didn't Modus say something first before Monique did? He's like, "Oh, and tell Monique I said whatever he's
Yeah,
and
something
Roman,
like that.
and then Monique's like, "Oh yeah, okay, Dad, we'll be there soon."
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a funny scene. I like that.
Yeah.
And this is where they get their new job, right? They're going to see Modus. He wants Roman to make up for what he lost him, right? So he needs another huge job. Turns out that the job is coming from, is it Valeria?
Taylor Swift.
Is that her name? Yes, the Taylor Swift equivalent.
Actually, if this is going to be sci-fi or dystopian, I imagine this being a Lady Gaga of the world.
Yeah, that does make more sense.
And I like Lady Gaga better than Taylor Swift, so I'm going to go with Lady Gaga. This is Lady Gaga.
Yeah, and Monique also apparently went to school with this
right
with this girl at some point or another.
Yeah, wait. So, Jonathan, you're saying that you like Taylor better?
No. I don't have a dog in that fight. But I was thinking that Lady Gaga is not even that experimental. Lady Gaga is way mainstream. Anyway, in my mind, it's a lot more experimental, but it probably isn't because it's mainstream. So it's probably more Lady Gaga. I concede.
Well, then Taylor Swift. If Taylor Swift is mainstream pop, right? I'm not knocking her or
no. Lady Gaga's also got a massive following. Massive. It's not as big as Taylor Swift, but it's big.
Right, but if we're trying to make an analogy in world to our real world, I think the pop star that calls Roman's old boss is more like Lady Gaga than Taylor Swift.
All right, audience, settle this one for us. Is it more T Swift? Are you a Swiftie or are you a Gaganite? I don't know what she calls her people. Little monsters. That's what she calls them, little monsters. Are you a little monster or are you a Swiftie? Which one? Which one are you? Or do you have a better recommendation like a 1990s Britney Spears?
No, I get it. We're making fun of mental illness. That's great.
They should hear you off cam.
Got him.
That, my friends, is an admittance of guilt in the court of law. Plead the fifth over here. Oh, man. So they get their job. What other key points happen in 20? before they take off? I can't think of anything.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
I gotta consult the book. Which, if you haven't picked it up,
You should pick it up.
should. It's like absolutely solid read, especially again as Nick's first-time published author. I actually think that Roman opened up too quickly, emotionally, as someone who's had to work on himself emotionally. I think that Roman was a little quick to let her into the vault.
So, Roman matured faster than you did? Maybe you need some drugs in your life.
Extracurriculars.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of one of the things. I don't know if I brought this up on camera or not, but I was a little bit wary of Monique in the beginning because it just seemed like he got in too quickly with her. And I'm wondering if she's somehow using him. Now, Slava, don't spoil this for me, but that's kind of where my head's at right now in chapter 20, as they're setting off on this new job. It's like, is she somehow going to play him, set him up for something? Maybe she's connected to Zarus. I don't know.
Oh. That would be a surprise.
That would be a surprise. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just speculating at this point. Obviously, don't spoil it for me. I'll get there next week. But
well, spoiler: they get to have white picket fence, 2 children. They're both hybrids. Ironically, they're not hybrids, so they adopt. Because Roman has issues. Actually, one of them's adopted, the other one's stolen from the job they just ran. That's actually
they adopt that 10-year-old little girl that he saved earlier.
That's right.
There it is.
They saved
now
her
you
from
ruined it
the
for the
junkies
audience.
Now I ruined
because
it.
they were going to buy another pack of it, and actually those guys wouldn't be selling.
You guys want to talk just for a couple of seconds, maybe, or a minute, about Norville going off on Roman? It is the first time that Norville does anything like this. And it's Roman calling him after promising to do all the stuff for him, and he's been gone for a week. And even Norville knows, and he says everyone on Karis knows you've been on a bender through this entire club district. And so Norville is like, for the first time, this little dweeby little guy
calling him out,
standing up to Roman. I thought that was a pretty cool little bit in the book.
I mean, I think you covered it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, all right, moving on.
Narwhal, whatever his name is. Norville.
Close enough.
Weeble stuff.
Norville is growing as a character as well, which I did like. I did like that Norville also is going like, oh, hey, he's not just some dweeby guy. He's like, oh, I can stand up to this guy a little bit.
Well, and he's obviously got enough smarts to kind of, like, he escaped from Zarus, like where he was, the tower or whatever he was in earlier in the book. He escaped from Zarus's control. So it was obviously a lot went wrong, but he managed to escape. So he has enough sense to not only is he this dweeby, sort of nerdy character, but he definitely has some enough sort of intelligence, I don't know, street smarts, if you will, to kind of survive. Even though he can get himself into some awkward situations socially. But yeah, it is cool that there's other characters, that are growing, and we see a little bit of development there. It's not just Roman.
Mm-hmm. That's right. But that's all she wrote, folks. Unless there's final thoughts here. Another 10 chapters in the books.
Another 10 in the books. History book. Recording. Another one in the recording.
We're falling apart. I'm falling apart.
Same.
But let us know in the comments how you're enjoying Vitalerium, or if you absolutely hate it. I'm cool with that too. I didn't write the book. So let us know. Drop it in the comments. Next week, we will be tuning in for the final chapters. We'll wrap the book up. And then we have a special episode with our guest, the author, Nicholas Keating Casbarro. If you haven't already checked out his author episode, which will have released already, I think. Right, Slava?
It should be already released. If not on our platform, you can probably check it out on his platforms.
His
Because
Patreon.
we're going to share it with him.
Yep. So check that out if you haven't. And if you haven't checked it out, check it out. And if you haven't checked it out, check it out. And if you haven't watched it yet, go ahead and watch it. And make sure that if you haven't watched it, watch it again.
Let me sure to watch the episode.
Where he's on as an author interview.
Right, that one, yes.
Yep. Spencer, do you have any episodes we should check out?
You should probably check out the first episode that we did. Also check this one out, and probably the one that we do with the author. If you haven't
Telling
watched,
them to check out the
if
episode
you haven't,
that they're finishing? Be sure to check out this episode that you just finished.
Rewind. Just start over. Just pull it.
Rewind. Be kind, rewind. Actually, that should be the teaser at the front end. Be sure to check out this episode that you're watching right now.
Yes, exactly. Because maybe they're only going to watch the first 20 minutes, and they need to check out the full.
That's about the time we all fall
Yeah.
apart. Yeah,
No,
so-
Exactly.
no. It does get rowdy though. This episode,
A little
So
bit,
if
little
you're looking
bit.
to-
Well,
Thanks,
we weren't going to
Jonathan.
go there.
but it does though. But we need to be honest.
We need to be audienced. What? So that'll do it for this episode of Side Quest, everyone. Thanks
Brought to you by Dayquil. God damn it.
You can keep that. We're gonna let that one roll.
Love it.
All right, adventurers. All right, side questers. We will see you on the next side quest.
Hey, I have a favor to ask. If you like what we're doing, the simplest way to support the show is to hit that subscribe button. In return, we'll keep leveling up, we'll listen to your feedback, and read the authors that you suggest. And of course, we'll take side quests along the way. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one.